All right, breaking news. We just got this off the wire. Steve Bannon has been found guilty of contempt of the United States Congress, obstructing the January 6th investigative committee. Now remember, Steve Bannon decided to say, no, I will not adhere to this subpoena. He has now been found guilty of obstructing the United States Congress. 68-year-old political strategist who served as the former Trump campaign advisor has now been found guilty. Now let's talk about what this means. There are 2 counts he's been found guilty on, all right, 2. The sentencing can be a minimum of 30 days, a maximum of 1 year based on the report. So a federal jury has convicted Steve Bannon of 2 counts of contempt of Congress for defying the subpoena, which also means that you can actually have 2 different sentences for each of these convictions. So they don't necessarily have to follow the same. It also means in the absolute best case scenario, he can get 2 years. Now that's not going to happen. That's best case scenario for me, because a judge can stack on top of each other the maximum sentence and not allow them to run concurrently. All right, they can do what's called a consecutive sentencing. Highly doubt that will ever happen. But Dan, what are your thoughts about this? What's going to happen? Is Steve Bannon actually going to the pokey?
Yeah, so the sentencing hearing is going to be in October, so I'll be really excited to see about that. But in reality, it hasn't been since the McCarthy era red baiting trials, where you had people potentially facing jail time for seeming too communist in Hollywood and stuff like that. Basically the Cold War era, half a century ago, where people were actually prosecuted for contempt of Congress. But the jury was pretty quick on this. Steve Bannon's defense team said there's so much reasonable doubt that we don't feel the need to put up a defense, which to me shows the kind of cockiness, at least in my opinion, that the Bannon team has always had. I mean, we just played earlier in the show some audio that was recently uncovered from the January 6th committee hearings that a lot of people are opening up about. Even Donald Trump Jr. showing how on the day of, he was very concerned about it. Steve Bannon sitting by going, no, you see my friends, this is all the long game. Because if he wins, then Donald Trump doesn't have to answer anyone. And if he loses, he's just gonna say it's rigged and he's gonna try to force himself to stay in office anyways. So it's a win-win for us. Heads I win, tails you lose kind of situation, largely for the American people. So I'm happy ultimately to see a semblance of accountability. I'd love to see Steve Bannon behind bars, but I unfortunately have not seen anything that suggests to the Republican Party or to anyone really that you can't try this again.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, they keep allowing the leaders on the right to be resurrected. That's what happens. So Steve Bannon goes to jail. He goes to jail for a few days. He goes to jail and defeated. Then he all of a sudden he comes out. He's now resurrected somehow. He's defeated the system. He has this entire narrative about how he went against the big guys and he actually won, because these are spin doctors. Okay, all right, we'll keep you updated on any development as it comes.